Well, to start with this recipe, first we have to do candied orange peels. That first we have to, we'll start cutting the top and the bottom of the orange. Do not judge my way to cut. And this way, well, the next step to do these candied orange peels is to remove the peel from the orange without taking too much. Well, we're trying to do carefully because we do not want to break it. But it doesn't matter because we're going to cut it in small parts in order to later we're going to boil them. Well, but this is the first step, and we're going to repeat the same with our 4 oranges. In suppose we also can use lemon, but that kind of lemon is not sold currently here in Mexico. Well, it's not really common. You can obtain it, but in supermarkets and not in grocery store and things like that. And well, we're going to repeat the same with the other 3. Well, once we peel off our oranges, we can eat it or do whatever we want with them, but we're just going to use the peel. Well, we're going to do some white strips from this peel. We're going to cut it in this way or this way, whatever you want. I suppose it doesn't matter. We haven't done it. We don't know anything, but we'll cut it. And it doesn't have to be too wide. And well, we'll do it with all our peels. Cheers. Well, once we already slide all the orange peels, we have to boil them in water. Just water for 15 minutes. And well, then we're going to repeat this process. We're going to drain the water. We're going to boil them once again. And we're going to repeat it for 3 times. At least 3 times. Well, let's do it. Well, the water is here. We're just going to add the peel. Nice! Do not pay attention that this is my first time cooking. Well, just add the peels and wait till the water is boiling. And like I said, we're going to repeat it too much times. The reason why we repeat it is because we want to take away the bitterness of all these peels. All this white part that the peel has is bitter. Its name is peat, something like that. Do not pay attention. And it's quite bitter, and we do not want to taste that when we are preparing our Eccles Cakes. Eccles Cakes. And well, we have to do this process too many times, cause this will make that our peels taste sweet instead of bitter. Well, we're going to wait and we're going to do the dough. Well, let's start with a recipe of Eccles Cakes. I have to add some butter and also some flour. We have to use 312 grams of butter and 350 grams of flour. Well, first of all, we'll start slicing the butter in order to make it easier for us to mix it with the flour. Damn! Well, with our peels already boiled, we're gonna drain the water off from the peels. We're going to use a colander, and well, we're going to use this. Where's my spoon? Well, what we're going to do is to rinse this peel. And well, we're going to use the colander. Too much water. And we're going to repeat it like I said before. We're going to use water and we're going to put it to boil once again. This is going to be the fourth time that we're going to This is going to be the fourth time that we're going to boil the orange peels, and it's going to be also the last time that we're going to do it before we will put it into sugar. But we're going to do it next to it. Well, as you can see here, these are 350 grams of flour and also this is 312 grams of butter. We're going to mix them. I'm reluctant to do it. Well, right now we have boiled all the orange peel for 4 times, and right now we're going to add the sugar and the water in order to make the candied orange peels. Well, the first thing we have to do is to put it into a casserole. And well, after that we're going to add some sugar and also water. First we're going to add the sugar. And later we're going to add the water. Well, we're gonna start mixing, or I don't know what's the verb, and combine all these ingredients. It's supposed to be like that, but I do not trust too much in this. And also, we have to add some water. But let's do it. Yeah, whatever. Right now I need to go. Also, I'm adding some butter. Well, the butter that we have to add, and adding a little bit more of flour in order that do not to be in this way. Well, once our dough is already done, we have to roll it down with our roller. I don't know what's the name. We're gonna add some flour in our surface and also some to our this thing, the roller. And well, let's go. We already extend our dough. Well, and next we're going to do, the next step is going to fold it. We're going to fold it in the half and next in the half. Yeah, what about them? We're going to repeat the process of extend the dough a couple of times, again, a couple of times. Well, the next step for our recipe is to make the filling of the Eccles Cakes. First we have to add butter to a pan, and we have to add 6 teaspoons of butter and let melt. Filling, we have to first melt 6 teaspoons of butter, and well, after it's already melted, we're going to add the ingredients that are going to fill our Eccles Cakes. First of all, we have dry currants, we have to use like a cup of currants, but we're going to use it just sing. Also, we're going to use nuts. There are nutmegs, and we're going to add it also. And we're going to add finally our orange candied peel that is already made for us. Some cinnamon, and we're going to let it, and we're going to mix it a little bit. And final part of our filling, we're going to turn off the stove, and also we're going to add rum. We do not have rum, we're going to add brandy. Suppose it's a little bit. So that's it. Well, like we've been doing since we started with the flaky pastry, we're going to add some flour in our surface in order to make it easier for us to roll it out. Alright, we're gonna roll this way, then we're switch it, and we're gonna roll it in the other way. We're doing this in order that the filling do not go away from or the flaky pastry, in order that keep inside. It has to be a quite big surface or a square that we are going to use. It has to be from this size. Now we're going to add the filling like you saw before. The filling is nuts, also the dries, and also the candied orange peel. We're going to use not too much because we're not able to close it. Well, something like that, and we'll take one part of the dough, and well, we'll take it to the middle and with all the other parts. If we have too much filling, we can take it out with a spoon or with our hands, doesn't matter. And in order to make it easier for us and to take a better shape and to make easier the bake of this flaky pastry. Now in the final step, we have to add some butter to our pan or surface that we're going to put into the oven, or Eccles Cakes, where we're going to add some butter on all the surface in order that it can bake better, or Eccles Cakes in this way. Well, as you can see here, all the pan surface is completely filled with the butter, and this is how it looks on Eccles Cakes. We're gonna put it into the pan. We're gonna leave some space because it's gonna increase the size of the dough. Well, here we use flaky pastry, and we're going to, right now I'm going to do a few more. It's supposed there are two ways to do an Eccles Cakes. The first one is to use the flaky pastry in a round way, in a round shape, and the other one is to roll it out, the flaky pastry, and to make a square, and also to fill it with our filling like I showed you before. Well, I'm gonna do it right now. Well, right now you're watching me preparing the Eccles Cakes. Spoiler, I'm just going to make two more because the filling was not enough to make more. I'm sorry, but
I'm going to talk about something really interesting about these Eccles Cakes. That is the history or the story about this really famous dessert from England, and also I'm going to talk about a little a legend, and it's supposed the last thing it's supposed is a new one. There is something true that happened to people in from related with really famous desserts, with these really famous cakes. Well, let's start with the story of this, the story and the origin about this dessert. The story starts with James Birch, who is credited with being the first person to sell Eccles cakes commercially, but he wasn't the first person or the one who created them. This title John Idol gives to Elizabeth Raffald. That was possibly the person who invented the Eccles cake. That's something that I cannot prove, that there's not too much information, but I just keep it as a data. Well, let's back with James Birch. This he started selling these cakes from his shop at the corner of Vicarage Road and St Mary's Road. Currently, suppose the name of this street is the Church Street in the town center. This was in 1793. And the name, what is the name of these really famous cakes? Eccles is a town that is placed in the county of Lancashire. I hope it's well pronounced, Lancashire. And that is placed in the ceremonial county of Greater Manchester. That where he adopted, or well, this case adopted the Eccles cakes, the name from the town where they belong to. It's a really traditional food from Lancashire, and also it shared this title with other kind of pies from England. It's supposed that also cakes nowadays has a different meaning. The word cake, because the dough and the preparation, the cooking of the baking of this kind of dessert is different nowadays. But in that century, it's supposed a cake consisted in a dough filled with something else. That was a cake. But like we know nowadays is quite different, the meaning that we have about a cake. Well, like I said before, I'm going to tell you a really interesting legend. It's supposed it's a legend. I don't know if it's true, but it sounds quite interesting. This is related with Oliver Cromwell. In the 18th century, a few years later than I have told you, um, a really important process or something like that happened in Eccles, in the city where these cakes belongs to. That is named the Eccles Wakes. I'm not going to get into details because I don't know them, but there's something important about this is it's supposed Oliver Cromwell banned or prohibit this type of case because he said that inciting rivalry and community events. So they said that the cause of these Eccles Wakes was the Eccles Cakes. So he banned them for because he related both things. Quite interesting. And also, this is reports made by newspapers that attributed some house fires to these kind of cakes because at the time to reheat them in microwave, the sugar burst into flames, causing fires in the houses. This suppose is real. I don't know, but there's some really interesting about it. Well, that's it.
oven, we're going to use, like I said before, the sugar. Here in Mexico is named piloncillo, and all the information I could find is quite similar to this, so we're going to use this instead of that kind of sugar. Well, we're going to do it like this all over the Eccles Cakes. What is made this? We suppose it's made this because the dough or the flaky pastry that we made we didn't add sugar, just salt. So we think this step is made in order to give a better taste to the flaky pastry. We're going to brush them with egg, just egg, and after that we're going to add some sugar. It's supposed in the original recipe it has to done with the Demerara sugar, something like that, but here in Mexico it's not available, so we're going to replace them with a kind of similar one. Well, first we will need a brush for cooking, for desserts, and well, we're gonna start, and we'll pass it all over the Eccles Cakes. We'll try to cover all the surface in order that they will acquire a golden color and a better texture when they will be cooked. I just use one egg because it's more than enough. You don't have to use too much. Even sometimes it don't take you more than an egg. Because, like you can see here, we didn't make too much of them, just 4. I just put into the oven all the Eccles Cakes, and well, before that I preheat the oven in 190 degrees Celsius, or it would be like 375 Fahrenheit. And well, we're going to wait. In the recipe, it didn't say how many times I have to wait, so I'm going to leave it here, and it would be like 250 degrees Celsius and the max heat. And we're going to wait 10 minutes, and after that I'm going to lower the heat to 190 degrees. Well, finally we have our Eccles Cakes prepared. They are already baked, so this is the last step. Well, this is supposed they how to look like, and well, some advices about this is the filling. Do not put too much filling inside it because it's going to taste too much. And also it's supposed it has to be a little bit smaller, but I have some problems with flaky pastry, so I couldn't do it in a small way. But I did it also like that because the filling. Something really important is the way that you are going to prepare the candied orange peel. Something that I recommend you is to to slice them in a square shape, not in strips, because it's going to be easier to feel these Eccles Cakes. And also something really important is the way you're going to brush the egg before you put it into the oven. Something I didn't do is to mix the sugar with the egg, but was a mistake because didn't look very good. Didn't have that golden color that I like to have. They have. But that would be all. It was a really interesting recipe that I made, and also a little bit hard. And something really important is how to be made with too much days of anticipation, because also the candied, the most difficult is the candied orange peels, because you have to leave them in the sun for 2 or 3 days, so you have to take too much time to prepare this recipe. And also if you want to prepare it, I recommend to make a bunch of these Eccles Cakes. That would be all. I hope you like this recipe. I like it, but well, that's it.